So welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Bible BPM, and today we have a video to share with you guys where American YouTuber went to India on an island, one of these secluded island there where you have a different tribe and get caught up in a trouble over there again. So I want to just look into the video here and watch it and see what I can learn from it as a YouTuber where maybe say I got travel and stuff like that. So stay tuned.
Arrested for illegally entering a prohibited area in India and trying to make contact with a reclusive tribe that inhabits a remote island in the Bay of Bengal. The Indian government says his actions posed a serious threat to the safety and well-being of the tribe, whose contact with outsiders is prohibited by law in order to protect the indigenous way of life. Ragini Sudhir Chaure reports.
On March 31st, India arrested Mikhailo Polyakov, a 24-year-old US tourist and social media influencer, for trespassing into the remote North Sentinel Island. Armed with a camera, a coconut, and a can of Diet Coke, Polyakov tried to make contact with the isolated and reclusive Sentinelese tribe, all for a YouTube video. He says he was searching for good content. Polyakov blew a whistle off the shore of the island in a bid to attract the attention of the tribe. He then landed on the island for around 5 minutes, left the coconut and can of Diet Coke as offerings on the shore, collected sand samples and recorded footage using his GoPro camera. H.S. Dhaliwal, the police chief of Andaman and Nicobar Islands, said that Polyakov had landed in Port Blair on 26th March. He was spotted taking off from a beach in South Andaman on 29th March just after midnight. The police has since filed a normal complaint against Polyakov under the Foreigners Act of 1946 for entering a protected tribal reserve or restricted area without permission. The tribal lands are protected under the Andaman and Nicobar Islands Regulation of 1956, which prohibits unauthorized entry to the locations.
Basic investigation is already complete. Of course, all this footage, etc., will also be forensically examined, and whatever is necessary will be done to take this case to the logical conclusion.
A local court sent Polyakov to 14-day judicial custody. He is set to appear again in court on 17th April. The charges carry a possible sentence of up to 5 years in prison and a fine. Incidentally, it was not the first time Polyakov had attempted to visit the island. Previous efforts included attempts in October 2024 when he was thwarted by hotel staff while trying to kayak to the island, and another in January 2025. In that instance, he attempted to attract attention by using a whistle before leaving his offerings. He also illegally filmed the remote Jarava tribe while visiting the Baratang Islands. Survival International, a group protecting tribal rights, called the act deeply disturbing. The group's director, Caroline Pierce, said that Polyakov's actions not only endangered his own life, they put the lives of the entire Sentinelese tribe at risk. Polyakov is not the first to be held guilty of trespass. In 2018, an American tourist, 27-year-old John Chow, was killed by the tribe using a bow and arrow. He had paid local fishermen to ferry him to the North Sentinel Island. In 2006, the tribe had killed 2 fishermen who had accidentally landed on the shore. Meet the Sentinelese, the last truly isolated tribe on Earth. They are an indigenous people who inhabit the North Sentinel Island. They may not even know what YouTube is, but now they're fighting to stay off it. They live on an island barely 60 square kilometers wide in the heart of the Bay of Bengal, with no telephone, no electricity, and zero contact with the outside world, and they intend to keep it that way. The North Sentinel Island is forbidden to foreigners and Indian citizens alike. It is out of bounds even to the Indian Navy in a bid to protect its reclusive inhabitants who number only about 200. It is one of more than 500 islands that form a part of the Andaman and Nicobar archipelago. This chain of islands is situated between the Bay of Bengal to the west and the Andaman Sea to the east. It shares a maritime border with Indonesia to the south, Myanmar to the northeast, and Thailand to the southeast. Only 38 of the islands are inhabited, and among those, none is as fiercely protected or as deeply mysterious as the North Sentinel Island. The Indian law enforces an exclusion zone of 5-kilometer radius around the North Sentinel Island. No tourists, no fishermen, no researchers, not because the tribe is in hiding, but because they want to preserve themselves and protect the way of their life. According to scientists, the ancestors of the Sentinelese tribe may date to 30,000 years ago, part of the first wave of humans out of Africa. While other humans spread, mixed, and migrated, the Sentinelese stayed, cut off, untouched, undisturbed. While others moved into cities, discovered agriculture, and built empires, the Sentinelese continued living as hunter-gatherers, Stone Age survival in the 21st century. The tribe never learnt farming. They didn't need to. They forage fruits, fish in shallow waters, and hunt with handcrafted spears and bows. They live among nature, with nature, and in nature. History has a habit of coming knocking at our door. In 1867, a shipwreck brought outsiders to the island's shore. Survivors were attacked. In 1880, a British naval officer, Maurice Vidal Portman, tried to establish contact with the tribe. Portman is best known for documenting some of the tribes between 1879 and 1901 when he was posted as a superintendent there. He ended up kidnapping an elderly tribal couple and their 4 children. The couple died within days, likely from diseases that their immune systems had never encountered. The children were returned, but it may have already been too late. For people unexposed to certain diseases, even a handshake can be fatal. What Portman called civilization, the Sentinelese saw it as an invasion. From that day onwards, the message from the island was clear: stay away. The world didn't stop trying though. In the 1970s and through the 90s, an Indian anthropologist, T.N. Pandit, led several expeditions to the island. He brought with him coconuts, pigs, and even dolls as a gift. Each time, the tribe responded the same way, killing the pig, burying the doll, and rejecting all contact with outsiders. And then came a moment of hope. In 1991, another Indian anthropologist, Madhumala Chattopadhyay, led an expedition to the island. The Sentinelese warmed up to her. For the first time ever, the tribe accepted coconuts from her. A woman from the tribe even stopped a man from firing an arrow at her. But peace was short-lived. After 1991, all attempts at contact ended in hostility. Was it fear? A sense of invasion? Or was it simply a line drawn by people who had already seen too much? In 2004, when a tsunami devastated the region, India flew helicopters over the island to look for survivors. They were met with a hail of arrows. The message again was unmistakable: we are alive and we don't want your help. Elsewhere in the Andamans, the Jarawa tribe, once isolated, now struggles with obesity, addiction, and cultural loss. Modern society offered them medicine, music, and marketing, but took away their traditions, languages, and peace. The Sentinelese live on, coexisting with nature. They've mastered sustainability while the outside world struggles with it. International law is clear. The UN's Indigenous and Tribal Peoples Convention protects their right to remain uncontacted. India follows a hands-off, eyes-on policy, watching from afar, ready to help, but only if asked. And so far, they haven't.
In a world racing to connect every corner, the North Sentinel Island remains the only dot on map which remains untouched. It's a place where silence speaks volume. The Sentinelese, they don't need us. They don't need our cities, our gadgets, or our civilization. The only thing they have been asking for is peace. And it's time for us to realize that the greatest thing that we can offer them is not a can of Diet Coke, but for us to listen their demand, for us to let them be in peace. With camera person Saurabh, Ragini Sudhir Chaure for DD India.